Our second letter is from a female in Virginia. She writes, I'm dating a man who is bisexual. Jessica, I feel insecure because I have never dated a man who is attracted to men and women. He has never cheated on me or given me any reason to think that he is. Any advice? My first advice to you, female in Virginia, is take a deep, calming woosah breath because you seem like you are losing it. And it seems like maybe you're not losing it. It just may be that you're in new waters. And sometimes when you are in a new water, it can make you feel insecure. And then it brings up these feelings of insecurity that you really didn't know that you had. So you may want to unpack those feelings of insecurity. Why do you feel like you're insecure? Is it because you don't feel like you're enough for a bisexual man because he likes a man and a woman? Or in your past relationships, did men make you feel like you weren't enough because they would cheat on you? Remember that. Always remember that whatever feeling you have, inadequacy, insecurities, it usually is rooted from an experience that happened before the relationship, unless you've been in this relationship a long time. And it sounds like you have not been in this relationship a long time. So I would say that. Then another thing is, I think you need to do a little quiet research, as I call it, where you put on your Inspector Gadget goggles and you go to a Barnes and Noble, you go do something other than look it up on the computer, but go to a bookstore, go to a library, and look up bisexuality. And then maybe go into a group, a forum on Facebook or Snapchat or Vero, and like a bisexual one, not to be, weird, but just to ask those questions. Because I think what you're going to find is being a bisexual does not make you a slut. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Being a bisexual person does not make you a slut. Being a bisexual person, all that means is that you are open-minded. That means that you don't really see a man or a woman. You see their heart. You see their qualities. And you enjoy that type of quality. Okay? So I want you to really repeat that to yourself. Bisexuality does not mean that he is a slut, or that he is greedy, or that he's a cheat or a snake. Remove the stigma about sexuality. And then once you do that, you need to ask yourself, why do you think bisexuality is a bad thing? Because I'm going to be honest with you, STDs are on the rise, but STDs are on the rise with elderly people, the baby boomers, and they're on the rise with straight heterosexual couples. Yeah. HIV is on a steady decrease. Teen pregnancy is on a steady decline. So you really want to do your research, because a lot of the things that I think you're feeling are self-fulfilled prophecies, and it's also the culture that you were raised in. We have all been taught that gay people are wrong, bisexual people are wrong, pansexual people are wrong, trans people are wrong. Anybody who does not fit into that heteronormative box is wrong. And that's not true. I always like to say there's no such thing as black and white. There's all kinds of grays, though, right? And that's how you're going to have to look at this, because you can't just be like, well, he's bisexual, he's going to want a man. What if he leaves me for a woman? What if he leaves me for a man? But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't do any of that? What if this turns out to be the best relationship you have ever had just because of who he is? So maybe you do what Mario has said in the song. Maybe you just let this guy love you, and maybe just relax. But I think on your part, I would just take it down a notch, and I would do my research. And once I did my research about it, I would not ask him too many questions, because once you ask too many questions, you may make him feel uncomfortable about his sexuality, and it may show your sexuality immaturity. And I know I can't use ality and immaturity, but I just did. And you have to remember that. Are you mature enough to be in this relationship? sexually, because it sounds like maybe you're not. Maybe you don't really know anything about bisexuality. Maybe you've only been with two guys. Maybe you know what I mean? But you gotta make sure that you're mature enough, emotionally mature, spiritually mature, mentally mature to have this conversation, because you're worried about him leaving you for that. But what if he just leaves you because you have these, homophobic tendencies? And I know you're going to say, well, Jessica, homophobia means that you're scared of homosexuals, but you can use homophobia in this regard, because a bisexual person likes the same sex as well as the opposite sex, and you can show a homophobic bias towards them. Correct. So just remember that he could end up leaving you because of your homophobic bias, your tendencies. So just remember to, number one, take a woosah breath. Number two, maybe go to the library, get your edumacation on, okay? So we know what we're dealing with. And number three, keep that heart open, because that's what love is about. Love is about keeping your heart open and being able to live in that moment of real love and experience that. Because who wants to live a life without love, right? Thank you so much for the letter.